Hello guys, Elora here, and today's reading is about magic. In the days where every single person that you meet is a witch of some sort, practicing magic, spell casting, and so on, I think sometimes it's good to slow down, stop, and ask yourself a question: why am I doing this? Is this the path for me? What are the consequences? Am I understanding the laws of rebound and the laws of the way the universe functions and how everything comes back to us, sometimes tripled, and how what we do really affects everyone around us because we are not separate from anything. So we're going to have 3 positions. The question is a path of magic and witchcraft something for you? If it is, we're going to ask other questions. If it's not, then it's not, and it will be obvious. So, is a path of magic and witchcraft something for you to walk? Is it something that is your calling, your destiny? Is it the right path for you, the path of witchcraft and magic? Position number 1. Is witchcraft and magic the right path for you? Position number 2. Is the path of witchcraft and magic the right path for you? Position number 3. Please pick your card. There will be a time code. You can watch all 3 if you're not sure which one to pick. I'm going to move this to the side. Position number 1. I wouldn't be so sure. It could go one way or another. Is the path of magic and witchcraft is the right path for you? Position number 1. I would say no. I would say no, and I will explain why. Because you will have to have a very strong sense of what is right and what is wrong, what is black and what is white, what is gray, and what actions will cause what reactions. So first of all, it will change your life in ways that you can't even imagine. Second, the balance that will be required from you, not to lose yourself in power-hungry games or beliefs, as it happens often, where people lose themselves to the idea of I'm all powerful, I can do this, or just doing things lightheartedly without understanding the consequences. And in the end, it will bite you on the ass, I'm sorry. And you might succumb to forces that you are not exactly well aware how to deal with. You might awaken forces that you are not very well aware how to deal with. It will take a lot from you without giving you much back. So you really don't know what you're signing up for, but there will be no way back once you step onto this slippery slope. And also asking yourself, what are my intentions here? Why am I looking at it? What am I looking for? All right? Why am I even toying with the idea of witchcraft and magic? And weighing the consequences. What else? Position number 1. Is the path of magic and witchcraft for you? Obviously looks like it's not, but is there anything else you need to know? Well, it's a really double-edged sword, so I would say no. Really leave it be. If you started, stop where it is now. Do nothing. Do nothing and leave it be. Yes. If you are just at the beginning and you're toying with the idea of it's something that is really attractive and you feel like this could be fun and life just got boring, just listen to your intuition and don't go there. That's not something for you. It might cost you your relationships. So, what do the, if you're still questioning, what do the ancestors on your mother's and father's side, and those who came before you, your great-grandmothers, your grandmothers, those who walked before you, what do they have to say about you toying with the idea, or perhaps maybe you began already your path, your first steps on the path of magic and witchcraft? What do your ancestors have to say about it? It's a bridge. It's a bridge that once you cross, there will be no way back. It might cause addictions. So as the devil there was saying earlier, that you might end up succumbing to forces and end up having them control you rather than you controlling them, because you're like this baby crossing a bridge onto somewhere that you are not even clear what is it and what you're signing up for. And once you've known a thing, you can unlearn a thing. So really it will something that will turn into a terror for you. It will be something that will overpower you, and it will end up being something that you will end up being dependent on, and then you will have to have someone, ask someone for help and have someone rescue and help you deal with the consequences. So position number 1, honestly, I would say it's 100% no for me. But if you're still questioning what are the warnings or possible consequences of you going and walking this path, because sometimes we have red flags and we ignore them. Well, I don't believe that this is a red flag you should ignore. Position number 1, any warnings for you walking a path of magic and witchcraft? The path of magic, the roads are closed for you. Don't go. It's a red flag for you. So if you have been noticing things that you began walking this path or doing small things here and there, and if you notice that something has been happening, either a tree falls in front of your car, or you can't find your cards, or you can't find your grimoire, or you can't find the candles that you were looking for in all the shops, then it's the universe and all your ancestors, guardian angels, guides are telling you this is not the path for you. This is not what it seems. You're not clearly realizing what is it actually. So you're not looking in the face of this endeavor that you decided to go for. You're not really seeing it clearly. It's not what it seems, and it's not the path for you. So do not take it. I highly warn you, I recommend that you listen to this. You don't have what it takes. You don't have what it takes to deal with the consequences. You don't have, and if you continue to push towards it, then the consequences will be something you're going to have to deal with, and it's not going to be fun. So you don't really have what it takes. You don't have that maturity, the understanding, the full understanding and grasp of the reality that is magic. So don't go there. It's really a very loud and clear red flag. So if you end up ignoring this, then the consequences will be your own health as well. And could be your own health, physical health, as well as you are not ready, you haven't mastered your skills, you haven't understood everything properly, you haven't. It will change you, and it will change you in the ways that won't be beneficial for you. You are really not ready. You don't have any skills or understandings. It will take over you, and that's not something that you want. So if you're interested in magic, start reading some books by people that are giving you the entire picture, not just, oh, you can do this spell and it's cool because you're all powerful. No, but people that have done it for years and generations, and the people that will explain to you what rebounds, what comebacks that you might end up having, and for how many generations will this last if you screw something up, and what it will cost you. Okay, position number 1, this was your reading. Now we're going to move on to position number 2. Okay, position number 2, whether walking a path of magic is something that you're invited to do. Is path of magic and witchcraft something for you? Let me mix the cards. Let's have a look. Yes, it's definitely a yes, position number 2. This is your destiny. This is a path for you. You have probably already gone through the initiation process, and it's definitely yes. And it's something that will separate your life onto before and after in such ways that you can't imagine. It's something that will give you a fulfillment of such that you can't even dream of. And you have begun already your studies. You also could possibly have a lot of clear senses. But yes, it's very clear. It is a path for you, position number 2. What else do you need to know? Position number 2 about walking this path of witchcraft and magic. That it will destroy your relationships with this man in your life. Whether it is a partner or a husband, but it will put a strain on your relationships with this person, and eventually you will have to say goodbye to it. There will be some sort of arguments. He will obviously, possibly, not agree with what you're doing, and it will put a strain on it, and you will end up walking the path by yourself. But it's something that really, the tower is usually, when it comes crashing, it's something that is violent and shocking and dramatic and painful, but it's needed. So it's like a clearing, it's a purging. It's the earth creating natural disasters to rid of the pollution and the mess and whatever it is that we're creating. It's shaking it off. So if there is a person in your life right now, then this person won't be walking this path with you. You're going to have to start from zero. What else do you need to know about walking a path of witchcraft and magic, position number 2? You will have someone who will teach you. You will have someone who will teach you. You have a lot of It's definitely a path for you. It's definitely something, it's a loud yes. Yes, go for it. If there is any internal conflict, if there is any worrying, conflicting thoughts, beliefs, don't worry, because there will be someone that will guide you and that will teach you. You will have a mentor of some sort that will teach you everything you need to know and everything that you don't yet know. So if you're still doubting, if you still have internal conflict, it's definitely a loud yes for you. Position number 2. Let's see. What do your ancestors and those who came before you, who are no longer in this physical realm, want you to know about walking this path of magic and witchcraft and choosing this path? What do your ancestors want you to know? A message for you from your ancestors regarding you choosing a path of magic and witchcraft. Your grandmother and a lot of family members are actually there for you, and they're all saying, cheering up, they're all your fans basically. They're all saying, yes, go for it, go for it. We have a mother here, we have a grandmother, we have a brother. So whether there are those who have passed or whether there are those who are still around you and alive, there will be people that will support you. And it's people that are possibly still here, and it's definitely those that have passed. And yes, you have hit a wall right now. You really can't choose. You don't know what's what, and there is internal conflict, but this is something, a gift that you were born with, and it's something that you're invited to step into your power and develop further, especially because when we have internal conflicts and doubts, it's because we realize and understand the weight of responsibility that we're taking on, which means you're not going to be taking it lightly. What else do your ancestors want you to know? It's something that runs through your family. It's something that have been passed on within your family through generation to generation. It's something that all of your family members, all the ancestors have been carrying. So your interest in magic is not something random. It didn't just randomly come out of nowhere. If you have been questioning yourself and doubting, why am I suddenly interested in magic? Is this the right path for me? Why am I even reading about this? Why am I choosing this path? If you feel like you've been obsessed with it, and you obviously have been, it's like sometimes it is said that a magic or a path of witchcraft, you're either born with it or you're not. And when you're born with it, it's like a hex or a sort of curse, but not a curse that you have put on yourself. It's like you've been marked even before coming into a physical body, which means that it is something that you cannot avoid. It's something that is your destiny, and if you walk away from it, it will always come back, and you will always have this internal obsession with it, of the need to, the curiosity and the drive to go for it. And the jealousy card is obviously about that person in your life that you possibly might end up walking away from, or he might walk away from you because he won't be able to handle the whatever it is that you're doing. It will somehow cause, maybe he will feel jealous because of your knowledge and the power the powers that you're dealing with, the forces that you're dealing with. So position number 2, obviously this is a path for you and your family is all up for it. So if you're still questioning, don't, but it's good to question, means that you are aware and you're taking responsibility, but your entire family of ancestors are here to support you. Now, position number 3, let's have a look. Is the path of magic something for you? Position number 3, you have to ask yourself a question. Why? What are your intentions? Are you looking at it because you want to get something out of it, or because you want to use it to give something of yourself and to be of service to the energies that you are looking into working with, to the world? So position number 3, let's have a look. What is your agenda? Is the path of magic and witchcraft the right path for you? What are your intentions for walking this path, for choosing witchcraft and magic? Is the path of magic and witchcraft is the right path for you? Position number 3. Possibly not. If you're happily married, then stay where you are, because this, as I mentioned earlier, you have to really have clear intentions and understanding of why you're doing this. There is a lot of also internal fear of what else might come, and then it also will be something that will drain more of your energies rather than give. Rather than fulfill, and you might end up literally with nothing, physically, emotionally, mentally, metaphysically, on all levels. So if you are happily married or happily in relationships, then stay where you are, and always check in with your intentions. Why are you even toying with this idea? Position number 3, what else? Path of magic and witchcraft, is it the path for you? Yes, yes, in a sense. You are energy sensitive and you could have some psychic qualities about you. You can be quite empathic, but it will take a lot of you. It will take a lot of you protecting your energy field. It will take a lot of work to try and keep out that which is not yours. So you will end up picking up more from people that you would need to. So here we have, this is possibly what could be causing you anxieties and fears, and this is normal. It's, you know, sitting in a room with a person and doing a reading for them, or giving them any kind of therapy session, or having someone come to your house and you cast spells on them, or put protection spell, or create a word for them, and I don't know, protect their people come with all sorts of issues, and you will be sitting in their energy fields all day long dealing with people. So if you're highly empathic and you have maybe dysregulated nervous system, or you are very much, you easily triggered and you have a lot of psychosomatic, then you might end up having a lot of psychosomatic issues just by taking on those other people's energy. You're really going to have to be working very hard on those boundaries and keeping your space, your aura, your energy body and physical body clean, because it's a little bit like energy and knows no boundaries and limitations. It's like sitting in the room with a bunch of, or on the airplane with a bunch of people, and at some point everyone begins to fart. And then you just smell it in. There is no way out of it. So that's literally what's it going to be like. Are you ready to keep all those energies out? Is this something that you're capable of dealing with? Because if you're happily married and your life is great, then stay where you are, because you're going to end up giving more than getting back. What else? Position number 3, you walk in the path of magic. Lots of pain and no gain. I would say leave it and walk away from it. This is not a path for you. You will end up heartbroken, depleted physically, emotionally, mentally. It's like an argument that you cannot win. It will end up hurting you rather than you helping people. What else? Yeah. You will be it will be controlling you, rather you will be controlling it. There is a possibility. You definitely could learn and could develop, but this. So if position number 2 didn't have a choice really, it was something that was a path for position number 2. It's almost like you're being pushed and marked by, you're either born a witch or you're not a witch. So in case of position number 2, that's inevitable for them, one way or another. Avoiding it is like avoiding yourself. For you, no, it's not. You don't have to do it. It's your choice. You are in a place now where you have a choice whether to go this way or not to go this way. And if you won't go this way, it won't have any negative effect on your way of life, on where you are right now, how you're living, and it won't really have any negative effect. However, if you will decide to walk, it's like it will be controlling your life rather than you controlling the forces. So the choice is yours, whether you want to learn or not. But if you choose to develop these abilities, then you have to be careful. You have to really make sure that your boundaries are there, that your energy field is clean, and it will be a long way for you. It will be a long way until you learn. So it's not gonna happen overnight. You're at the beginning of this journey, and there is a lot for you to learn, and learning means practicing, and practicing means making mistakes, and that will take a toll on your possibly physical, mental, and emotional health. So I would just say leave it where it is and walk away from it. Position number 3, what do your ancestors want you to know if you choose to walk this path? Message from your ancestors. Those who came before you, your grandmothers, great-grandmothers, and those that are no longer in this physical dimension. What do they want you to know about you choosing witchcraft and magic as a path? If your father is still around, then he's still around. If he's not, then he's not. But your grandfather on your father's side of the family, or if someone's father has passed away as well, they're saying no. It will be like a fight. it will really take a toll on you, and it will become this heavy burden that you will end up carrying. It really won't be something that will be filling you up, but it will be something that will take a lot from you, and you will get nothing back. You will not get nothing back out of it. So you will end up feeling like you're fighting forces, or you're constantly fighting for your own space. And it's really, it will be a hard road for you, where you won't be getting much back. There will be a lot of going back and forth. Maybe this has something to do with seeing people, as well as if you're living with, if you have a family and your husband and children, then possibly here is the advice is that you can't really be practicing this in your family home, because people leave their energy and all sorts of traces of their energy behind. And so you're going to have to drive back and forth, and it will really give you nothing, but will take a lot from you. So your father's line of ancestors is saying no, saying at least this is what it will become for you. It will become a hard burden. Anything else? And your grandmother as well, on your mother's side of the family, is also saying it's going to be a burden for you. It's going to be a burden for you that you really don't need, because both of your ancestors, fathers and mothers' ancestors' lines are all saying don't do it. Don't do it. You possibly have also a young child, and you're going to end up in a situation where at some point, somewhere, somehow, there will be another witch, another person, and it will backfire, where you're going to end up having, like here we had a conflict, some sort of fight, because it happens when one puts a curse on a person and that person comes to you and asks you to remove the curse, then you are the one dealing with the consequences. And in the world of magic and witchcraft, it happens. So are you knowledgeable enough? Are you ready to be dealing with all of that? Or is someone will have to be wiping your butt afterwards? So your family and your ancestors are quite against it. They are not recommending it. So I would say position number 3, you could, but you shouldn't. Okay, I hope this was clear. And in the world where every single cartoon and every single Disney movie and every single movie is about witchcraft, magic, Hogwarts, and all sorts of things, let's be careful and ask ourselves a question: why we're deciding to walk certain path, whether it's a path for us, what are the consequences, for how many generations, if I screw something up, will these consequences be there? Will my child or their children will have to deal with something that I have created, and whether it's worth it? Is it something that's calling you, or is it something that you just want to do because why not? And if you're still doubting, buy some books written by practitioners that actually give you both sides of the stories, of what it brings them and what it takes from them. And then you make your decision from there. Also taking in consideration the people you might lose, people that might walk away from you, that will not accept you, and all that comes with it. Because if it's your path, and if it's something that fills you up, and if the energies you're working with giving back to you what you've given to them, then regardless of the fact that some people might walk away from you, you won't care. But if you are not ready to lose people that you love, then this is not something for you, position number 3. And overall, just asking yourself questions: what is my intention in this? Why do I want this? Is it some sort of power play? Is it some sort of need to feel almighty? Or what is it? Or is it curiosity? Then sometimes we can just read a book to satisfy curiosity and understand whether it's something that we want or need. Okay, thank you guys for being here. This was Elora, and I hope you enjoy this, or it's something helpful and useful for you, leave a comment below, and goodbye.